Alright, so after hours of trying to figure this out, um, I still cannot figure out how to get a first-person controller for Android. Um, so right now, on the player game object, which is untagged, I have a character controller with default settings and just made to fit this capsule. And I have the first-person control script directly from the standard assets mobile. And so I took the move touchpad and used the left joystick from the dual joysticks prefab in the standard assets mobile, and then I used the right joystick for the rotate touchpad. And for the camera pivot, I used the camera, and I just changed some variables right here, like speed and just basically speed. I changed these tilt positive. I think this was like 0.6 at first, but what I can do is I can just easily reattach this and then redefine. And then I have the default values, but I would still like these to be 3, and I think this one to be 6. But yeah, this one's 0.6, this one's 0.4, this one is 0.1. So with this, right now, even with my character controller, the capsule is just as it is, and the camera is as it is, but the player should be set up fine. And when I go to run it using the Unity remote, it does not move the character. And so what I've done is I have looked at, from the standard assets, looking at the first-person controller using the non-mobile version of standard assets. I checked to see what the differences were between the character controller that I made and the character controller that was in the standard assets. So I noticed that there is a character controller, a mouse look script, and a character motor script, and a first-person shooter input controller script. And so, compared to mine just has the first-person control. I'm assuming that these touchpad script variables or joystick variables, the joystick script should control movement. I'm not entirely sure how it works, but that's what I'm assuming this is for. Because when looking at the pre-made scenes for the standard assets mobile control setups, I can look in the first-person setup, and I can even try to run this as it is using my remote, and it still will not work. The character does not move, and there just appears to be no difference from what I did. There's the character controller and the first-person control script. There's the left joystick, the right joystick, each with a joystick script. It's parented under the first-person controls, so that would mean then that if I remove this, the GUI textures would go away too, which is not what I want, which is why I kept it separate from the player. So here's my setup. I can delete this because I was just using that as reference, and then I just looked at the control setups that the standard assets mobile already has, and even though mine seems to be exactly the same, except for the joysticks being separate so that I can move the player wherever I want without the joysticks moving, there's still no kind of motion from the player. And again, basically all I have set up is a capsule and a camera and these are a child of the player. And so the capsule is just a capsule, no collision or anything. Camera is just a camera. Player is a character controller and the first-person control script from Standard Assets Mobile. And that's basically it. That's all I have. It's from what I've read online, it's all I should need, but it's not working for me. So any help on this topic would be appreciated, and thank you for watching.